Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're back with the Island House. We're on chapter 9. I do have laundry in. I've been doing laundry pretty much every day because I have been so slow at doing it, but hopefully I can get it done today or something like that. Anywho, we're back with the Island House. We're on chapter 9, so let's get started. Charlotte watched as the beautifully sun-tanned Dawson went utterly pale. So Janet wasn't a sister, not his mother, definitely a woman from his past, and he just made a mistake mentioning her. He hadn't sounded choked or like it was hard to say her name. She couldn't be that big of a deal. An old girlfriend, he said, reaching for the Diet Coke again and sucking down half of it. Yeah, I think she's more than that. She told him about Hunter. Well, kinda. She was. Dawson put his arms on the table and leaned into them. I guess you want the whole story. Yeah, I guess I do. Then you'll tell me more about your ex-husband. Was Janet your wife? He said he'd never been married. No, but I loved her and she loved me. And we were talking about marriage. A ghost of something passed through his eyes. She didn't like my job. I didn't want to quit. We broke up. There was so much more behind that story, but Charlotte nodded. She was your opportunity to get married. Yes. How long ago was this? Oh, I don't know. 7 years? Something like that. He glanced up at the waiter and they put in their orders. Charlotte's mind spun around a few key details. Once the waiter moved away, she said, So you haven't dated for 7 years? It wasn't a question. An extreme curiosity cruised through her. I mean, here and there, he said, dismissively. Nothing serious. Charlotte gestured to him and then herself. Is this nothing serious? Dawson's eyes turned into lasers, and he leaned forward again, as if someone at the nearby tables cared what they were talking about. You're the one who said you didn't want a boyfriend. I never said that. You said you just gotten divorced and didn't want to start dating. Those eyes were sharp, and they would not let go of hers. Then you kissed me. So honestly, Charlotte, I have no idea what this is. Charlotte reeled from the bluntness in his words, but she couldn't blame him. She had told him those things, and she had kissed him first. She still wanted to kiss him every chance she got. So Wilma being present in his past had been a little speed bump. Dawson obviously hadn't been that important in her sister's life, and he wasn't interested in her sister now. You're right, she said. So maybe we just keep seeing where this goes. She looked at him with hope lifting through her. He didn't seem like the type to want to settle down, and he nodded, which confirmed it. Charlotte relaxed and spread her napkin over her leg. So Janet didn't like a job in the Air Force. Why not? I was gone too much, he said. Moved a lot. She had family in San Diego, same as me, and she wanted to put down roots. He swallowed and glanced at his soda, which was nearly gone. Pilots don't have a lot of roots. Was it hard, she asked, breaking up with her. Yes, his voice was a little more than a whisper, amidst all the other chatter in the restaurant, and he hadn't dated seriously since. Charlotte took a deep breath and let him off the hook for now. So my husband's name was Hunter, she said. He was, well, he still is, a real estate agent on Carter's Cove. She watched him for any sign of recognition. It's the #1 island destination in the continental United States. Lots of money to be made in timeshares, condos, stuff like that. Is that why you left Carter's Cove? Charlotte couldn't even sort through all the reasons she left. There was simply too many. She lost all of her friends, as she did everything as part of a duo, and without Hunter, she didn't fit. He was everywhere on the island, literally, as his face was on signs, his name on buildings. I didn't belong there anymore, she said. It might have been okay if he hadn't left town for a weekend and come back with a new wife. That had definitely been the tipping point. Or maybe she hadn't reached that until she saw pictures of the newlyweds with all of her friends. They looked so happy, toasting him like he was the god of the island. And where was Charlotte? In the back room at the hotel where she had one more job to finish. Oops. I lost you. Dawson's hand came down on hers, startling her out of that black hole in her life. Look, we don't have to talk about it. It's okay, Charlotte said. It's just easy to get bogged down with it. It was so recent. The waiter arrived with her food, and the mood lightened when she had a bite of her vegetable tempura. As soon as I finished my last job there, Charlotte said, I moved here. He smiled, and said, like you were starting over. Yeah, kind of. I just needed to get out of there and Getaway Bay sounded like a great place to get away. It came for a fresh start too, he said, his dark eyes sparkling with that desire she'd been every time he kissed her. She lifted her glass of soda. 2 fresh starts. He clinked his against hers and took another bite of his sushi. Charlotte smiled too, but something withered way down deep inside her. Questions swirled around her head. The biggest, loudest one was, is this a fling? Because if it wasn't, she needed a label for their relationship. September faded into October, and Charlotte expected the island to calm down a little. If anything, there were more tourists than ever. She took on 4 new clients for the custom wedding packages, a fact that hope beaming from the doorway of her office. How are things coming with the Grays? She asked. Charlotte pulled a green folder toward her. Since the potential constellation, I've been working with a dress designer. She has 3 sketches for Claudia to look at. She's coming the day after tomorrow. She flipped the page. Once we have the dress, we'll be able to move on to the cake, dinner, and flowers. Claudia wanted it all to flow around the design of the dress. Charlotte had never had a bride who wanted the dress to dedicate so much, but Ashley had been more than accommodating for what Claudia was willing to pay. Ashley probably designed 50 dresses and sew the one she picked herself. Keep her happy, Hope said. Her family owns the largest chain of consitos in Atlanta. Charlotte looked up from the folder. Do they live on the island? No, but they own a home here. They come a couple of times a year, probably for a quick weekend getaway, the way some people went to the beach on a Saturday or up to their cabin for a few days. The Grays hopped on a jet and flew 6,000 miles to stay in their island home. Charlotte pushed away the thoughts, most of which were tingled with sarcasm and jealousy. I'm sure Claudia will be nothing but pleased with her wedding. She spoke with confidence, but she had been anxious about the meeting for a week now. Claudia was tall and powerful, with long limbs and a thin, weary frame. She exuded an air of importance, and it was assumed that she'd get what she wanted, when she wanted it. She had been pleasant during the initial consultation, and at least Charlotte hadn't had to guess at what she wanted. What about those last 2 brides? Did they come sign? Hope scanned Charlotte's desk as if the contracts would be there. Yes, yesterday actually. I gave the paperwork to Sophia. Hope nodded and asked, have you booked Aiden for the photos? I sent him the calendar appointment. Charlotte clicked a few times on her computer, bringing up her calendar. Claudia's wedding had been colored purple, and she found the first photographer appointment, the engagement. He hasn't confirmed it, Charlotte said. I'll contact him. She pulled a notebook toward her to add the to-do item to her list. I talked to him. Hope pulled out her phone and started tapping. He'll respond faster to me.